Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to this special meeting of the Boston Art Commission. I'm Karen Goodfellow, and I'm Director of the Art Commission and Director of Transformative Art and Monuments in the City of Boston. So if we can, let's all update our names and pronouns. In accordance with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, we are conducting this meeting virtually. As a reminder, this was extended until 2025, or I think extended further now. To 2027. To ensure public access to the deliberations of the Art Commission, the public can join this meeting through telephone and video conferencing. And for those of you with us today, this is being recorded and closed captioning is available, and you should be able to access it at the bottom of the screen. And if you have trouble locating the button, please chat us for assistance and we'll do our best to help you. The Mayor's Office of Arts and Culture and the Art Commission believe that public art is any artwork installed in publicly accessible spaces where they can be experienced by everyone for free. And for transparency and community input, artworks proposed for city property are reviewed at these meetings on a monthly, usually, sometimes more frequently, basis. And working together, the Public Art Team and the Mayor's Office of Arts and Culture and the Boston Art Commission, which is an independent board composed of 2 ex officio and 7 volunteer members appointed by the mayor. They have exclusive authority to approve and commission artworks intended to be added to the city's collection or placed on city property. And the art team, the public art team that you can see here, are here today and facilitating the meeting are Project Manager Amber Torres, Senior Public Art Project Manager Birgit Worster, and Transformative Public Art and Monuments Coordinator Emily Rose Navarro. And we can add our contact information, bac@boston.gov, to the chat, and you can follow up with us with any questions. We also work with a team of incredible consultants who will hear a lot from. Liza Quinones, the amazing mural consultant we've been working with on Canvas of Culture and many projects before that. We also work with Josh Crane, our conservation consultant, and Erin Genia, the Indigenous Public Art and Cultural Spaces consultant, as part of our work. And with that, I will pass it off to Chair John Andres.
Thanks, Karen, and welcome everyone. I call this public hearing to order at 4:36 p.m. Today, the Commission is holding a special meeting this June. We had a very ambitious agenda for our June meeting, and so we wanted to review these projects. So thank you all for joining us, and thank you, commissioners, for taking the time. Our meetings are generally held on the second Tuesday of each month. And we engage in discussions about public art in Boston in order to foster the creation and collection of artworks that reflect the people, ideas, histories, and futures of Boston, which is located on the traditional homeland of the Massachusetts people and the neighboring Wampanoag and Nipmuc peoples. We acknowledge the atrocities committed against Indigenous peoples, all of the communities that have been subsequently harmed, and the ways in which colonialism has created systemic oppression. We recognize the continuing presence of these communities and the Indigenous peoples represented in the city's residents, in addition to those in the diaspora. We also recognize that Boston exists as a result of the forced labor and economic extraction from enslaved African Americans. I'll now take roll call of commissioners to confirm a quorum. After I say your name, commissioners, please say here. I begin with Vice Chair James Mason.
Here.
Diana Fernandez-Bibeau.
Here.
Brian Hone.
Here.
Don't believe I saw Nigel. And Abigail Norman. Are you here, Abigail?
Yes, I had trouble with the audio for a second. Yes,
Oh,
thank
sure.
you.
Thanks, Abigail. We do have a quorum. On this slide, you'll see today's agenda, which is also posted publicly on the city's website, boston.gov. And now I will pass to Karen Goodfellow to introduce the presentations for review today.
Thank you so much, John. As you all might remember, we have a lot of projects coming to us from Canvas of Culture today, which will be really exciting. So the first one we have up is Heroes, which is we're looking at for accessioning, which is really exciting. So become part of our collection at the City of Boston. And that's actually going to be presented by Birgit Worster today. as Paul Zotov is on vacation. So this project by Sophie Tuttle will be presented for sessioning. And then we have some artist selection projects. One for the Josiah Quincy Elementary School in Chinatown, and that will be presented by Liza Quinones from Street Theory for the city of Boston. Another one for the New Mission High School in Hyde Park. And if we go to the next slide, yep, we have another one for the Mattahan Elementary School in Mattapan, and the Mildred Avenue K-8 school also in Mattapan, and the Winship Elementary School in Brighton.
Thanks, Karen. We'll now move on to the items on the agenda for review, public testimony, and commission vote. On the screen, you'll see instructions on how you can participate in today's meeting. If you have technical difficulties, you can ask questions in the chat and a member of staff will help you. When public testimony is requested, you can press the raise your hand icon and we'll call on you. And if you're calling in, press *9 to raise your hand.
Our goal is to make this meeting a good experience for all. Please remember to keep your comments on topic, brief, and respectful of others. You can submit longer written testimony to bac@boston.gov. If you are called on, please state your name, title, program, and organization if relevant.
Thanks, James. And now I'll pass it again to you to introduce our first project.
So our first project for discussion is Heroes. Birgit, I'm passing this off to you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Last year, the BAC approved the final design of Heroes, a long-term mural by artist Sophie Tuttle for the Hugh O'Donnell Elementary School in East Boston. This work is a part of the A Canvas of Culture initiative led by Street Theory for the Mayor's Office of Arts and Culture. This afternoon, I'm very pleased to share the final images of the mural entitled Heroes and review it for acceptance into the collection of the City of Boston. Here you can see the school, the Hugh O'Donnell School, and the site conditions before the installation of the mural. And the completed mural in place using suggestions gathered through a workshop at the O'Donnell School. This mural includes plants and animals that remind the students of the places where they and their families are from. The words sprinkled throughout the mural reflect the values of the school: humanity, empathy, respect, and opportunity. In addition, the mural begins with a small memorial to Sadie, a student who recently passed away. Here's some more images, the completed mural. And then the maintenance plan, which includes a visual inspection, professional assessment of the condition, gentle cleaning, varnish reapplication is necessary. And then there's some more information about the specifications for the paints. Go ahead, thanks. And now we can open it up to comment and review of Sophie Tuttle's Heroes.
Thank you, Birgit. Commissioners, do anyone have any comments or questions at this time?
I'd like to make a comment about this and in general about the murals. I'd like to give a shout out to Liza and the entire team. It's really refreshing and inspiring to see these school murals with these positive messages at a time when on a national scale, this kind of message is being erased. I just want to say I'm really proud of Boston for supporting this work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abigail. Any other commissioners? I hear none. Shall I open it up to the general public? Does anyone have any comments or questions?
I'd like to say a few words regarding this project.
Go right ahead.
First, Abby, thank you so much for those kind words. This was a huge team effort that included BPS facilities, the Hugh O'Donnell School and their leadership and their students, and of course, Sophie Tuttle, and our MOAC team. I don't know if you got a sense of that first image of the previous conditions, but this playground and the wall where this mural ended up was in really, really bad shape. And BPS facilities and the capital program there installed a new playground. And even with the new playground, the old wall and mural just really, didn't do it any justice. And when you see this work now, combined with the new playground and the new surface and all the color and all of the effort that went into this project, it's like a brand new, refreshing, joyful space. And I'm really proud of this project as well.
Liza, I really appreciate that. Joy is what I see most when looking at these images. So thank you for your work, and of course to Sophie.
Liza, I was just going to say too, when we were looking at the final image, I almost thought that was like a photo rendering because it looked so good. But the colors are so vibrant, the imagery is amazing, and really like an incredible transformation. So congrats.
Thanks, all of you. And I was reaching out to the public. I'm not seeing or hearing anything other than you folks there. So with that being said, commissioners, does anyone want to make a motion?
I would like to make an emotion to acquire heroes as part of the collection.
Anyone want a second?
Second.
Thank you, Abigail and Brian. So we'll go for a vote on this, starting with John,
Oh, yes, definitely.
Diana,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes, as well.
Abigail,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well. So thanks so much for this presentation and look forward to seeing these wonderful works of art on our streets.
And big thank you to Sophie for her design and implementation of that mural. The next presentation for review will be the artist selection for a canvas of culture BPS murals. Mural consultant Liza Quinones will introduce the project as a whole and discuss the process for each individual site. So Liza, I pass it to you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And again, thank you to all the commissioners again for taking the time for this special meeting and for us to be able to initiate all of these new projects and introduce all of these new artists as well. I will briefly go over the project as a whole, which you all have heard about before, and introduce each of the projects right after. So A Canvas of Culture is a public art initiative through the Mayor's Office of Arts and Culture in collaboration with Street Theory, utilizing utilizing Percent for Art funds to integrate large-scale murals and other public art projects at capital improvement sites throughout the city and in schools across Boston's neighborhoods. In its second year, the initiative is once again concentrating on BPS sites, connecting artists whose artwork aim to amplify the aesthetic, cultural, social, and educational richness of schools while adding vibrancy to our city's landscape. In its inaugural year, we commissioned 12 artists. 5 murals were completed last summer. We accessioned 1 mosaic last month, and 6 more murals are being painted this spring and summer. Here is a glimpse of some of the amazing work installed during the first round of A Canvas of Culture. This year's call to artists was released on January 15th and closed February 26th with 196 artist applicants, a slight increase from last year's 164 applicants. In this year's call, we presented two opportunities, one for artist installed work and the other for design-only scopes, with MOAC facilitating the fabrication and installation of non-painted 2D applications such as mosaic and vinyl. This is a glimpse of our selection criteria and process. Our criteria is comprehensive and we prioritize artists that have a strong connection to Boston and or the overall themes of individual sites, possess robust and original artistic vision, have work samples that demonstrate artistic experience and the technical ability to execute similar public art projects, and whose applications have plans and experience in engaging their community through public art.
Thanks so much, Liza. The first school for artist selection review is the Josiah Quincy Elementary School in Chinatown, and I pass it back to you, Liza.
Thanks, John. Established in mid-1800s, Josiah Quincy Elementary School in Boston is renowned for its educational excellence and is the first to offer the International Baccalaureate Primary Years program. The school fosters global citizenship, drawing strength from its diverse community, symbolized by its dragon mascot. Next slide, please. At JQES, we have selected an artist who will paint a panoramic immersive exterior mural surrounding the lower play deck area, which also serves as a plaza during community events. The mural spans approximately 300 feet around. And together with the school, MOAC recommends artists Yuki Lee from Minloa, New York. These are examples of her past work. As a professional visual artist, she has participated in public art projects in cities including New York, San Francisco, Scottsdale, Chandler, Missoula, and Boston. Her experience spans multiple mediums, from creating vector-based images for vinyl and rubber installations to painting directly on surfaces. The dynamic compositions and use of shapes in her work are essential in transforming spaces into visually harmonious and engaging environments. Her designs are known for their expressive and vibrant qualities, demonstrating a deep understanding of color while emphasizing community and connection.
Thanks, Liza. I now open it up to commissioners to discuss the artist selection for Josiah Quincy Elementary School. Any questions or comments?
I have one question, John. Liza, were the students or part of the selection criteria for the artists?
Yes, so I do an initial run through all of the applications that come in. And then for each school, I present them with a curated list of artists that I sort of do a pre-selection of based on the criteria of the school and sort of who would be a best fit for painting in that space. And once I present that to the schools, then they develop a committee. This committee included school leadership as well as some parents and students.
Liza, I'm curious, I think you mentioned that Yuki Lee also has additional work in Boston. I'm curious where that might be.
So Yuki Lee has also been commissioned under MOAC to do graphic design work on City Hall Plaza.
Great, thank you. Commissioners, any other questions or comments? do appreciate the vibrancy of the designs as you've shared them. So I'm curious to see what she'll come up with. I now open it up to any members of the public. Questions or comments? Hearing none, I'm curious if any commissioner would like to make a motion to approve artist selection for the Josiah Quincy Elementary School.
I'd like to propose artist selection of Yuki Lee for the Josiah Quincy Elementary School mural.
Thanks so much, Abigail. Do I have a second?
I'll be a second.
Thanks, James. Commissioners, after I say your name, please say yes if you agree with the motion. James,
Yes.
Diana,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Abigail. Abigail, did you say yes? Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'm a yes as well. The motion passes. And now I'll pass to James for the next project.
Yes, the next school up for art selection is New Mission High School in Hyde Park. New Mission High School will host two projects at their school, an interior hand-painted mural and a design-only project that will be fabricated and installed as mosaic by Moac. I'm guessing I'm passing this on to Liza.
Yep, back to me. So New Mission High School is located in Hyde Park, and they focus on developing critical thinkers and lifelong learners prepared for post-secondary success. The curriculum includes project-based learning, early college courses, and internships. The vision emphasizes creating high-achieving graduates within a just and supportive community. Their core values are tenacity, integrity, tolerance, academic excellence, and nurture, promoting resilience, empathy, inclusivity, and a well-rounded education along with mental health awareness. So New Mission's main entrance vestibule features a distinctive sort of Gothic cathedral-like structure. And our selected artists will hand paint an immersive mural that will encompass the arches, walls, and ceiling, transforming this unique space into a vibrant and visual experience. Together with the school, MOAC recommends local artist Joseph Wardwell from Jamaica Plain for a hand-painted mural in the interior vestibule. These are examples of his past work. As a Boston resident living in JP and a parent of 2 Boston Public School students, the Canvas of Culture project is of great interest to him. Having been part of multiple schools over the past 14 years, he feels a deep connection to BPS and considers it a great privilege to be able to create a community-engaged mural in the school system. The second artwork site located at New Mission High School are several walls located inside their cafeteria. We are introducing a mural mosaic to enhance this highly utilized space. Our selected artists will focus on a design-only scope, creating a mural mosaic on the left walls and replacing the existing mural by the school's request on the right side for a cohesive look. And Street Theory and MOAC will handle the wall prep, the fabrication, and the installation of the artist's design, ensuring a durable and visually dynamic addition. Together with the school, MOAC recommends artist Jeremy Biggers from Dallas, Texas, to develop designs for the interior mosaic murals at New Mission's cafeteria. And these are examples of his past work. Throughout his career, he has used public art to tell compelling visual stories that resonate with diverse audiences. His work often explores themes of identity, resilience, and unity, and he strives to create imagery that is both thought-provoking and deeply connected to the people and places it inhabits.
Thank you, Liza.
You're welcome.
So commissioners, does anyone have any questions or comments to make at this time?
I
I'd
just
like
want to
to-
make a quick, oh, I'm sorry, Abigail.
Go right ahead.
I was just going to make a quick comment about the vestibule. It's so interesting architecturally. So I wonder too, as you're working with the artist, if there's a way in which to sort of accentuate some of those architectural features, and think through, I think, as you're thinking about that immersive like canvas experience, not like taking away from some of the unique features there and almost emphasizing it in a way. I think the artist's work is really beautiful, but I'm kind of curious to see it's sort of a blend of like architecture and mural, that I think could maybe lend itself to, I think, highlighting some of the architectural interests that's part of that entry point.
Yeah, absolutely noted. And that was what was so unique about that space. It has these architectural qualities that we have yet to really accentuate. And I'm really excited to see how the artist works with that space, given his style.
I'd like to echo your question in a way, Diana, and your answer to Liza, to say that there's something beautiful in that space that's a little bit open and a little bit more filled with light than many school entries. I think the vaulted ceilings give it that sense of airiness. The artist chosen for this school, his work feels dark and claustrophobic to me. And I would be concerned, as you work with him, Liza, to see if he can speak to the lightness and openness of that entry into the educational space, so that children coming in or young people coming in don't feel too enclosed, but instead feel like they're walking into an open environment.
I will certainly note that for the artist, Abby.
And Liza, if you could clarify for Jeremy Bigger's potential selection, you mentioned that it's design only.
Yes.
So could you just talk through that process and how you envision it?
So the artist will still have the same obligations for design engagement as all other projects. He'd be expected to come to the school and engage with the students and the school community, as well as the surrounding community in the development of the artwork, to really immerse himself in the school and the community's culture. And then he would take that work and create a design that would fit in that space. So the design itself has some flexibility in whether it's made digitally. Artists are also welcome to create an original piece of artwork that can be photographed and reproduced. And then we will work with a mosaic fabricator who I've worked with many times before. They're called Artaic, and they're based out of Charlestown. And they take high resolution images, whether it's digital or other, and create tiles out of the makeup of the piece. And then we would work with them to fabricate the tiles and then work with an installer to install the work as mosaic in that space.
Thanks so much, Liza.
You're welcome.
Were there any other commissioners who want to make a comment or have a question? I will open it up to the public. Any comments or questions from the public? A very silent public. With that being said, I wonder if any commissioner would like to make a motion on the artist selection.
I move to approve Joe Wardwell and Jeremy Biggers for the artist selection of New Mission High School in Hyde Park.
And would anyone like to make a second? You knew that was coming.
I'll second that.
Thank you. So we'll take a vote at this time, and I will start with John. John,
Yes.
Diana,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well. So congratulations to this artist selection. I'm fascinated to see how that tile works out. So thank you for the vote. And now I pass it to John.
Thanks, James. The next school for artist selection review is the Mattapan Elementary School in Mattapan. The Mattahunt, excuse me, I said the Mattahunt Elementary in Mattapan. The Mattahunt will host 2 interior hand-painted mural projects at their school. And I'll pass to Liza again.
Thanks, John. The Mattahunt School prioritizes fostering a love of learning and community responsibility, tailoring education to students' cultural context and local environment. The school emphasizes rigorous, interest-based learning supported by a dedicated community of staff, families, and partners. This collaborative approach nurtures future leaders who are culturally aware and prepared to contribute positively to Boston's community. The first artwork location will be a hand-painted 2D mural in the school's cafeteria. This location is also a very active site, also serving as a community gathering space for family and community events. Together with the school, we recommend local artist Ayana Mack from Mattapan for a hand-painted mural on the cafeteria wall. These are examples of her past work. Every school holds a unique story shaped by its students, educators, and surrounding community. Her goal is to reflect these identities through a vibrant, intentional mural, one that brings joy while honoring the school's culture, history, and vision. To do this, she engages the community through workshops and conversations, ensuring their voices shape the artwork. The second artwork location at the Mattahunt is a double height interior wall in the school's library. And for this space, we recommend artist Abel Jackson from Charlotte, North Carolina for the library mural, and these are examples of his past work. His artistic practice is centered on storytelling, community engagement, and visual symbolism, all of which align with the initiative's mission to amplify cultural and social richness while beautifying public spaces. For this project, he envisions a bold and vibrant mural that celebrates the resilience, diversity, and aspirations of Boston's youth. Drawing inspiration from the students, educators, and the surrounding community, his design will incorporate themes of education, heritage, and empowerment. And these are the 2 projects at the Mattahunt.
Thanks, Liza. Commissioners, do you have any questions or comments?
I'm just going to mention, so many years ago, or quite a few years ago, I worked on an art partnership with Mattahunt Elementary School, placing a really wonderful art teacher with their kindergarten classroom. And I was appalled that the graphics in the classroom spelled out the word in large letters, obey. This was before the famous Shepard Fairey image, I believe. But in any case, to see a new iconography and new messaging in the school, it really gives me a heart. Thank you.
Thanks, Abigail. Any other commissioners? I now open it up to any members of the public who'd like to make a comment or ask a question. Well, hearing none, would any commissioner like to make a motion to approve artist selection at the Mattahunt Elementary School?
I can make a motion to approve artists Diana Mack and Abel Jackson for the Mattahunt Elementary School.
Thanks, Brian. Do I have a second?
Yes, I'll second.
Thanks, James. And now we vote. Commissioners, after I say your name, please say yes if you agree with the motion. James,
Yes.
Diana,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
and I vote yes too. So the motion passes. I'll now pass to James for the next project.
Yes, and the next school up for artist selection is the Mildred Avenue K-8 school in Mattapan. Liza?
Thank you, James. Our next school site is Mildred Avenue K-8 school located in Mattapan. This school will host a design-only artwork scope. The commission designs will be fabricated and installed as 6 custom acoustic panels in the school's cafeteria. And together with the school, MOAC recommends artist Ms. Zakar to develop designs for the acoustic panels. These are examples of their past work. Ms. Zakar's goal is to create a piece that embodies the essence of the neighborhood, its history, its energy, and its people, turning walls into mirrors that reflect the beauty of those who pass by. They believe all people deserve to occupy beautiful spaces that represent them. Public art should embrace the community, and we're excited about the possibility of crafting a piece that does that in partnership with Boston. This is the only site at Mattapan. I'm sorry, at the Mildred Ave School.
Thank you, Liza. Does any commissioner have any questions or comments at this time?
Liza, I'm curious at the choice of acoustic panels. Is this sound mitigation or?
Yes. So there, if you go back to the site images, there seem to have been acoustic panels installed there before, but are just not in great shape and are not holding up well. And when our team visited the cafeteria, they did note that it does get quite loud in there. So we wanted to be able to replace these acoustic panels in a way that will be more effective, efficient, and vibrant and lively for the students there.
Thank you.
And Liza, with that, is the expectation that Ms. Zakar will design and then that design will be printed on the fabric that surrounds the acoustic panel?
Correct. Our team will take the design and get it fabric wrapped and fabricate the acoustic panels and install them ourselves.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
Any other commissioners? Any questions or comments from the general public? Okay, then. I wonder if there's a commissioner who would like to make a motion on the selected artist.
I'd like to propose the selection of Ms. Zakar for the artist selection at Mildred Ave K-8 school.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you. So now we vote. John,
Yes.
Diana,
Yeah.
Brian,
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
and I am a yes as well. So the artist selection has been moved.
And our, I believe, last presentation for review will be the artist selection for Winship Elementary in Brighton. And Liza, I'll pass it to you.
Thanks, John. You are correct. This is our last school with 2 artwork sites there. And then we will be all done with Canvas of Culture today. Thank you again for your time. Our last school is Winship Elementary. This school will host 3 artwork sites, 1 exterior mural at their lower playground, and 2 interior stairwell murals. Located in Brighton, the Winship School is a small public elementary school housed in a Victorian-era building. It serves approximately 220 students from grades K0 to 5, focusing on a STEAM curriculum. The majority of its students come from the Allston-Brighton area, and the school emphasizes cultivating natural curiosity through science, arts, and technology, aiming to prepare students as responsible members of the community. So our first site, which I think if you can go back, or maybe that slide got deleted. Oh, there it is. Our first site is an exterior sort of retaining wall that faces a newly installed lower playground area for students from K0 to grade 2. Next slide, please. And together with the school, MOAC recommends local artist Curtis Williams, who is also a resident of Brighton. This artist was highly voted on by the student population of the school. And Curtis will be painting a hand-painted mural on this exterior retaining wall. The goal of Curtis's work is to build a world of possibility for Black and Brown students to thrive through intergalactic connections, dinosaurs, hieroglyphics, and more. His interests are in STEAM, sci-fi, superheroes, and anime, which he references as a form of documentary. He aims to cite many moments in history that signal world building and our many unanswered questions through creativity. Our next 2 artwork sites at the Winship are located at the east and west stairwells. These walls provide an amazing opportunity for large-scale murals. This is on one of the stairwells, and the next slide will show you the stairwell on the other side. And for these 2 artwork sites, we recommend local artists Ethan and Vita Muro from Jamaica Plain. And these are examples of their past work. Ethan Muro is an artist and professor of the practice in drawing and painting at the School of the Museum of Fine Arts at Tufts University. His multidisciplinary practice spans drawing, paintings, murals, sculptures, and publications, which delves into narrative explorations of landscape, environment, agriculture, and the subjective nature of history. Together with his partner Vita, the team has extensive experience as creators of children's literature, as well as exhibitions and murals that privilege the voices and representations of young people. In Vita's books as an author, she focuses on inclusion, preservation of childhood, and the democratization of art and storytelling.
Thanks, Liza. Commissioners, any questions about the Winship Elementary artist selection?
I don't have any questions, but I'd just like to say that I appreciate the openness of the design of both artists. The fact that they leave some space in very different ways. It's refreshing and it allows the drawing to really stand out.
Thanks, Abigail. Any other commissioners?
I have a quick question, Liza. So for the, if you go back to the existing hallway, there's sort of like a blue apron that holds that upper wall. Is that also being considered as a refresh? Will that paint be refreshed or will it be remain blue?
That will remain blue, and the scope of the work will only comprise of the highlighted areas.
I think it'll be interesting for the artists to think about their composition in relationship to that. I think especially as it's wrapping, I think I don't know, it may not necessarily be a part of this project, but it may be nice to think about how the blue interacts with the composition. When I look at at the examples, they really rely on like a white box basically to contain the art, and this is contained by sort of like a blue ribbon at the base, which may be a little bit different. But I'm sure the artist will be up for the challenge. It's a very interesting blue, maybe the way it's being presented, but maybe something a little softer could have helped.
I agree, and both of these walls exist on the space that moved from the second to the third floor of the school. So that sort of institutional blue does kind of carry out throughout the entire building from the lower levels all the way up. I wouldn't say that changing that blue is completely out of the question. I think that's certainly something that could be left for conversation between us and the artists and BPS facilities, and whether MOAC is able to take that on. But we would just have to consider the transition between the floors and how the blue carries out from the bottom levels into these upper levels.
Any other commissioners? Would any members of the general public like to ask a question or make a comment about Winship Elementary artist selection? James, you're right. It's a quiet public. With that, any commissioner, would you like to make a motion to approve artist selection at Winship Elementary?
I would like to propose Ethan and Vida Murrow as this, and the previous artist, whose name just escaped me, sorry, as the artist for the Winship.
Curtis Williams.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Abigail. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Commissioners, please say yes if you agree with the motion. James?
Yes.
Diana?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Abigail?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. The motion passes. So our last order of business is adjournment, but before we adjourn, first, Liza, I want to thank you so graciously for all of the work and dedication you put into these Canvas of Culture projects. It's really exciting to see both so many local artists, but also artists from further afield. And I think the variety and selection of artists is really exciting and adds a vibrancy to our public schools. So the work on this is so greatly appreciated. And I look forward to all of the designs that we see in the future. And also to commissioners, MOAC staff, and of course you again, Liza, for attending this special commission. I know it's not always easy to find time in schedules, but I so appreciate everyone being able to be here to make this happen. And with that, would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn today's meeting?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Thanks, James. Do I have a second?
Second that motion.
Thanks, Abigail. Please say yes if you agree with the motion to adjourn. James,
Yes.
Diana,
Yeah.
Brian,
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. Thank you all again, and don't get too hot. It's warm out there. See
Thanks,
you all in
everyone.
July.
Thanks, everyone.